Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, how dare you, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a coffee, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and X. Now we are joined by Sensual Goat, Click OK, Neil, and a whole bunch of people in the Flat Earth Debate Discord server. So, welcome one and all.
How are you?
I'm alright, other than my live stream saying I've got no data. Let's just refresh that page and see if that sorts itself out. No data. Can someone check the live stream? Oh no, excellent connection now. I've refreshed it. Jolly good. 9 people watching. Happy days. All working well. By popular demand, and I do mean by popular demand, more than half a dozen people have suggested it personally to me in emails and messages, and several people in the Discord server and on my own panel have said, nah, the best of you comes out when you're really irritated with stupid flat earth response videos, i.e. produced by anti-flat earthers who don't like what we do. Now, from what I have gathered about the 2 videos that we may cover today, they're offering up a certain amount of copium to the people who make the videos, so maybe they'll be interesting. We'll give them a go and see how we get on. The first one is made by a guy called Baron Rutledge. I think I'm saying that correctly. Not a massive YouTuber, but I'll share his video link nonetheless in the live stream, so if you want to let Baron Rutledge know, at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me with a polite-ish comment that doesn't immediately get eradicated by the YouTube algorithmic bots, or indeed by the YouTube videographer himself. Just make him aware. We've covered your video. At Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me. So if you can toddle along, I'll keep this little call to action going for a few more seconds while a few of you from the live stream chat do actually do that. So it'd be nice that whoever's in the live stream chat is actually going to do that. So I'm going to call on you by name. Neil, although you were in my panel, Andy, Paula, Scott. Please toddle along, and anybody else who's listening but happens to be skulking, that's to say not in the live stream chat, do pop along to Baron Rutledge's video and let him know. At Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me with a polite comment that just alludes to the fact that we've covered his video. Now, as I said, as much as I want to be covering normal people just doing normal measurements of Earth, because they will be flat, what we've ended up with is anti-flat earthers suggesting that their flat earth measurements comport with sphericity. And that's what we'll be covering here today, from what I gather from Sensual Goat, who's explained this video, his suggestion in the pre-show. Anything you want to add before I do actually cover it in earnest? Sensual, specifically, as you've watched it.
Nope. No, let's go.
You happy doing this one first?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Right, let's get into it. Hopefully a couple of you have actually toddled along to the videographer and let him know. At Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me. I'll just point this out as well, because I haven't said this for a while. The whole point in us suggesting to my audience that they go along to a video from an, whatever you want to call it, opponent, I suppose, to say at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me, is that if you were to make a video about me, I would hope you'd do me the same courtesy. That is to say, if you're making a video with my bleeding face on the thumbnail, I'd hope you'd put at least a link to my video in your video, regardless of who you may be. So that's the reason for doing it. It's sharing the algorithmic YouTube love that we as flat earthers definitely don't receive. If you search this subject, you won't find me. You'll find my opponents, and only my opponents. Now, if you're going to find me, you'll find my opponents making videos about me. Now, that doesn't keep food on my table, and that's why I'm a YouTuber. As much as you might not like what I have to say about Earth being measured flat, that doesn't change that I've got kids to feed, and this is my job. Therefore, I want it to earn me money. Therefore, if you make a video about me, I'd like you to put a link to my video. But in this instance, I'm sharing this Baron Rutledge guy's video link so that people will toddle along to his video, help him along in the algorithmic love that we do not get. The idea being that it would be returned in kind by him if he was to respond to me, responding to him. That's the idea. So, if you're in the live stream audience, it's the last time I'll do this call to action, please let Baron Rutledge know at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me in his comments section. Give him a thumbs up even. But just let him know that I've sent people to his video, helping him along where he may not have had that help previously, helping him with comments, again, that push him up in the algorithmic response mechanism that is geared against us and me specifically. Anyway, let's get into it.
Is the Earth flat?
Yes, that's how it's measured. You're about to measure it that way, you stupid dickhead.
Find out. I've got the instrument
You've got a tool that measures things flat.
set up on that point there, which is FIPS, set by the Highway Division. Let's do some research.
Sorry, you've just put up on screen elevations that are measured with respect to sea level. So we've not got, what, 14 seconds into the video, and you're utilising flat Earth prerequisite elevation angles, elevation measurements off surface level, in this case sea level. What the bloody hell? Why are you even making a video? You've already utilised flat Earth prerequisites 14 seconds into the video. I'm already pissed off with this. I don't
Yeah, but he don't know that, Nathan.
It's on screen!
Yeah, but he's got the veil over his eyes.
Okay.
No, I think they're glasses.
Silence from the video for some reason.
Here are the coordinates for those 2 points in
Coordinates, as in utilisation of elevation angle measurements, Polaris positioning, and maybe GPS, all of which use Cartesian systems. So again, what are we, 20 seconds into the video, 30 seconds into the video, multiple flat Earth prerequisites already being used.
decimal degrees.
Degrees? Sounds like you'll need a flat Earth for that.
This is where I am located. That is my latitude and longitude.
Latitude and longitude are flat Earth measurements, you bonehead! Why am I having to get annoyed with this? I don't want to cover any more flat Earth, anti-flat Earth videos. This is just making me irritated. This idiot is immediately using our stuff. That's flat Earth prerequisite measurements of Polaris. Where do you think you get your latitude from, you dumbass? You're measuring Earth flat to give your positional information, and then you're asking if it's flat or not? Dumbass! You're using flat Earth measurements.
And this is the target which I will be sighting. And I come up with a calculated distance of 34.159 miles.
So horizontal distance measurement then? Linear? Idiot! Why are you even asking this question? You're using flat Earth measurements to ask if it's flat or not. What kind of a bonehead are you?
But we've got a distance. Let's get the height of the instrument above the monument.
So you're gonna get a height off surface level then? Perpendicular to the plane of reference? So what's that, the 5th or 6th flat Earth measurement that you've utilised? You're not even a minute into your video, and you've used half a dozen flat Earth measurements already. Did you know this would piss me off this royally? Is that why you've put it on? I think you intentionally do this to piss me off. Liam, I'm talking to you directly. You're doing it to...
Oh, never.
You know it's going to annoy me.
I've got a
I
4.
would never do such thing.
It's like a 466.
Yes. So
What is
that'd
he
be...
using there? A tape measure?
Yeah, it's using a flat Earth prerequisite perpendicularity with respect to surface level. Yeah, this is perpendicular to the surface level. This height. That's what height is. Elevation. If you're going to measure it with respect to an overall topographical average, that's sea level. In this case, with reference to his local surface level. These are flat Earth prerequisites. Right? If you're going to say Earth's not bleeding flat at the end of this, I'm going to lose my shit with this idiot. You've already measured Earth flat. You've already proven it's flat 6 different ways. Dumbass, you've already proven beyond all doubt Earth's flat. That's how you've measured it.
So now that we have the data recorded, we've got
loads of flat Earth proof. You can pack up shop and bugger off. You've just measured Earth flat. What do you need to do now? What, whistle past every single flat Earth prerequisite measurement you've just made and ignore the fact that you need Earth to be flat to utilise every one of them? So what are we going to do now? Punch these into curve maths? Measure distances and ignore how flat and horizontal they were? Idiot!
both vertical and horizontal positions.
Yeah, you don't have vertical on a globe. You don't have horizontal on a globe. They're flat Earth prerequisites, you moron! I'm done. I don't want to cover anymore. We're 1 minute 3 into the video. He's done nothing but measure Earth flat. We're done. That's it. We don't need to watch any more of his shit. He's already proven Earth is flat, hasn't he?
Yep.
Right, so why an unholy fuck TikTok would I cover any more of this shit? Why should I have to tolerate this wanker, this idiot bearded buffoon saying Earth's not flat at the end, drawing a conclusion after measuring it flat 6 different ways from Sunday? So we're going to listen to him measure Earth flat multiple different ways to tell us we're wrong? You bearded twat! Yeah, we're a minute into your video, you've proven Earth's flat. We don't need anything else from you. If you want to say it isn't flat, don't measure it flat! I'm done, I don't want to cover it anymore.
Yeah, that's the bottom line, though. Once 10 seconds in, you could just end it right there.
Yeah, I am so sick and tired of idiot bearded wankers measuring Earth flat to then ask, I wonder if it's flat or not. Fuckwit! You just measured it that way. So you're going to tell me after measuring it flat that it's not flat? That makes you retarded. That's what it makes you. And I'm sick of dealing with retards. Simon Dan, Dave McKeegan, this bearded retard. Professor Dave Dickhead Explains. They're all the same fuckwit, same piss in a different bottle. All they do is measure Earth flat and then ask the question, is it flat? Well, yeah, based on your measurements that you've just made, yeah, absolutely, without question. It's flat. That's how you just measured it. You found your position using a measurement system that requires it be flat. You measured perpendicularity for height. You referenced the surface level. You measured it in a linear horizontal fashion for distance. And you're going to ask me if it's flat or not? Wanker! Idiot! Moron! You're not hearing your own stupid words about how you've measured the surface level, the distance linear, and the height thereof perpendicular to a flat surface level, to then go, I wonder if it's flat or not. Obviously it's flat, that's how you've just measured it. Bloody idiots.
Yeah, Nathan, it's confusing to me because isn't he supposed to be measuring for sphericity? And yet he's just giving us flat Earth measurements.
Yeah, you stupid bearded wanker. If you're gonna suggest you're on a ball, measure it fucking ball-shaped! Don't measure it flat 6 different ways. Then I wonder if it's flat or not. Measure it ball-shaped, you stupid bearded twat. And you won't get me shouting down the camera at you and calling you a stupid bearded twat. Because a stupid bearded twat would measure it flat 6 different ways and then go, I wonder if it's flat or not. You want to say you're on a ball, measure it friggin' ball-shaped. Not flat. Idiot. Anyway, that was Baron Rutledge. Please let him know he's a bearded twat and he's measured Earth flat within the first minute of his video 6 different ways. Because I don't want to cover the rest of it. Why the hell should I cover this stupid retard telling me it's not flat after measuring it flat 6 different ways? Why should I have to tolerate him then telling me I'm stupid at the end of it? Which is what he'll do. I'll just get to the bit where he measures it flat and go, I'm just going to stop here. If you didn't want it to be flat, don't measure it flat. If you want it to be ball-shaped, present me some friggin' ball-shaped evidence. That would be ball-shaped measurements. Not flat ones that you need to suggest, after whistling past how flat they are, that somehow latitude isn't an elevation angle measurement of a flat surface. It's an angle! With respect to the surface for your position. That means you unequivocally require Earth be flat. You're using latitude. Idiot! Why are you even asking the question? I'll tell you why, because you were dropped on your friggin' head. You're a dumbass. You don't realise the measurements you've just made require you be on a flat planar surface. You stupid, bearded moron. So please let the stupid, bearded moron know, at Nathan Oakley pointed out. You're measuring Earth flat, dumbass.
Well,
Right,
how do you expect them to measure it curved?
They can't measure it curved. Earth ipso facto is only measured flat. There are no exceptions. You'll never present a ball-shaped measurement, ever. The closest you come, you idiot ball believers, bearded or otherwise, are begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking, Earth curve calculations. And what do they use? Oh, well, exactly like this bearded idiot used. Perpendicular height off surface level. Horizontal linear flat Earth only distance measurements. That's what the curve calculator uses. It's not measuring Earth curved, it's measuring it flat. And then taking the flat Earth measurements and whistling on by them like this retard just did. All right, well, if I take all these flat Earth measurements, flat Earth positional information, flat Earth elevation angle measurements, flat Earth heights off surface level, and flat Earth distances, I can ask if it's flat or not. Are you all retarded? Clearly you are.
Well, thank you for covering it, though, Nathan. I've seen him on TikTok a lot, and he's got some, crazy descriptions of why he's trying to say what he's measuring is spherical. He's got a Utah salt flats video with that image that he's saying that's the curve of the Earth. I've seen this guy multiple times, so thank you for covering it. It is interesting because he'll be out there confusing a lot of people.
He's confused himself. That's the problem here. He's a retard. You hear me, you bearded spastic? You are stupid. You can't turn around after measuring Earth flat and ask if it's flat or not. That's idiotic. Like you are a demented bonehead if you think that measuring it flat is a reason or cause to ask if it's flat or not. That's just stupid. And I'm going to start spitting feathers at these stupid idiots and telling them how stupid they are. Don't measure Earth flat and ask if it's flat or not. Okay, idiots? Right, let's see if the next one makes me any less frustrated. Probably not.
Edge of the Earth? Maybe it's because the horizon stubbornly insists on being suspiciously flat.
Yeah, that's what a horizon is. Horizontal.
Apparently, Earth missed the memo that flat is the new black. Some say if
flat is the new black. Written by a retard much? No, flat is an aspect. Black is a colour. Hello, are we dealing with the completely idiotic? Go ahead.
Sorry, I said technically it's a shade.
Flat is not a shape. Black is not a shape either.
No, I said a shade.
Shade.
If the planet were round, you'd see...
But if the planet, that's a begging the question fallacy. So we're automatically assuming sphericity in planet shapes, are we?
a dazzling curve straight from your backyard. Reality, however, taps...
Yes, it would be at 1.22 times the square root of the observer's measured height off a flat surface level for a parallel eye level. At 1.2 times the square root of the observer's flat Earth distance. These are all flat Earth prerequisites from your own curve calculator. Your inference that we've got a planet beneath our feet requires you measure a surface level. It requires a perpendicular height off it, and it requires linear horizontal distance measurements. That's where you get your 1.22 times the square root of the observer's measured height off surface level in feet to the geometric sphere edge horizon below the surface level. That's where you get your demented idea that you're on a ball from. You cartoon-using clown, whoever you are. Should really shout this person out. This is medieval absurdity. Idiocy would be the better word, because that's what he is. Or she, depending on the videographer's gender. I'll share a link with this idiot as well, so you can go and let medieval absurdity know, at Nathan Oakley 1980, ripped you a new asshole for being an idiot.
Us on the shoulder, nicely, and whispers, humans are, well, kind of vertically challenged.
Like vertically challenged? What, as in the perpendicular measurement off surface level? That kind of vertical? The kind of vertical that doesn't exist if you believe you're on a sphere? You don't get to use this term. Perpendicularity isn't afforded to you vertically on a sphere, you complete idiot. You'll need a flat earth for this word you're using. Being challenged in the vertical aspect, yeah, that'll be a flat earth prerequisite you're utilising and whistling past. You don't have vertical on a sphere. In and out only. For you to believe, based on flat earth measurements, that you are on a sphere. You don't get to use vertical, idiot. Why are you using it?
At a whopping 6 feet tall,
That would be a vertical measurement perpendicular to a plane.
gargantuan curve of a 25,000-mile wide ball is about
25,000-mile wide ball is afforded to you by deriving the minimum elevation angle to Polaris for a circle of equal elevation. That's where you get the outside edge of a flat circle measured with flat earth angles. That's where you get that measurement from. So you're going to tell me that you got your 25,000-mile circumference ball from any other means other than minimum elevation angles to Polaris, or a derived inferred sphericity from Al-Biruni measuring his height of mountains off surface level with trig? Because those are the only ways you get to infer that measurement. It's not a measurement. It's a derived calculation based on flat earth measurements of angles to mountains or angles to stars off a flat surface level. So no, you don't get to beg the question. You get shouted at by Nathan for being an idiot. Because you don't get to use that value unless you measure Earth flat. You moron.
about as visible as your leftover New Year's resolutions.
So you think it wouldn't be visible at 1.22 times the square root of the observer's measured height of a flat plane? Because that's where your Earth curve mass says it'll be after you measure Earth flat, you dimwit. So you don't think it's very visible at 1.22 times the square root of the observer's measured height of a flat Earth? Because it's 1.22 times the square root of the observer's measured height off a flat Earth, if you want to believe in it, you retard. Oh, but that's not very visible. What, so biggy it's flatty at 1.22 times the square root of the observer's measured height, perpendicular to a flat plane? Because that's pretty much a value that you can ascribe to your geometric physical sphere edge below surface level in your maths that requires you measure Earth flat. You dimwit, you dumbo, you asshat, you buffoon, you retard!
Hint. Not very.
Not very? Just not the 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height measured off a flat Earth, then. Retard. Dumbo. Using cartoons because you don't comprehend your own mathematics that uses a flat plane for a perpendicular height thereof. Yeah, that's you being a thicko. An idiot, an asshat, a buffoon who's being shouted at by a flat earther for his own dumbass idiocy when he doesn't understand his own Earth curve mathematics. That tells you exactly how visible it should be if you measure Earth flat to believe in those distances. Those flat Earth perpendiculars, those heights off surface level, those parallel eye levels, all flat Earth prerequisites that you require to infer how visible it will be, you dumbass.
To actually
So
catch
to have
Earth's
Earth curve below surface level, you first need surface level.
Yes, precisely.
bendiness, you'd have to soar like a pilot, scale.
Really? Soar like a pilot in straight and level flight? Measure with an altimeter off sea level? That sort of soar? Yeah, you'll need a flat Earth to measure how high you are. You never heard a flight controller call out the flight level? We've got black box data that shows how Earth is measured flat when you soar in an aeroplane. It's called out by a flight controller. It's measured with respect to horizontal for the pitch angle of the plane. measured off a flat Earth for the flight level that's maintained when you soar in an aircraft. It's one of the gold standards of flat Earth measurements when it comes to proving beyond all doubt that Earth is flat. Don't talk about soaring in an aeroplane. Listen to the flight controller call out the flight level. Look at the altimeter measuring off sea level. Look at the angle of attack with respect to horizontal. All of which are flat Earth only measurements that are used to keep people from dying while in the air, soaring in their aircraft. You, idiot, don't get to use aircraft because the measurements they afford us are all flat.
Everest, or borrow Legolas's unblinking elven eyesight. Pilots and climbers sometimes glimpse the curve, while...
Sorry, glimpse it? What, when they're measuring their flight level with respect to surface level? When they're pitch up with respect to horizontal? They glimpse the curve, do they? No, they use it if they lose their tools that are in the scan of instruments. If they fail, they can use horizontal from the horizon. Not glimpsing Earth curve when they use an axiomatic principle of the horizon to not crash the plane. You dumbass. Not glimpsing curve. They're using an axiom that the horizontal horizon affords them as a last resort. You dumbo.
That's an outright lie.
weather balloons and astronauts snap photos as clear as day, unless you believe NASA moonlights as a Photoshop pro.
What I know for an absolute fact is that NASA is all liars. Every man that said he's been out to a second law of thermodynamics violating sky vacuum is a liar. If men can travel out to a sky vacuum, so can all the high-pressure gas we're breathing. We'd all be dead. It would all vacate the area that we're in and dissipate, in line with the second law of thermodynamics, that's entropic dispersion, into the area that the men are waving back at high-pressure gas, violating the second law. They're all liars. Yeah, so no, I don't trust NASA. Yeah, it is all Photoshop. No, they haven't got any photographs from a violation of the second law of thermodynamics area that gas is not filling, that they think that they're in, called outer space. That's all nonsense. Had you the slightest comprehension of the second law of thermodynamics and entropic dispersion, you'd realise that they were liars too.
The ancient Greeks noticed ships disappear hull first.
Oh, really? Did the ancient Greeks not measure elevation angles with sticks and shadows utilising the sun? I'm pretty sure that they measured Earth flat sun. It's where you get your heliocentric values for a sphere Earth. The guy was called Eratosthenes. You're talking about flat Earth prerequisites if you're going back thousands of years. What are you doing?
First over the horizon. Spoiler alert.
Good.
What are you talking about? I have a perfect picture of Master B, and it was presented as Earth curve measurements, and it's a ship.
Yeah, the ship is going to be plugged into the Earth curve calculation for how much Earth curve is blocking or obscuring the view of the boat, correct?
Well, it's two pictures, and you see a lot missing.
Yeah, and how much is missing is dictated to how much we should see. So how we should see isn't governed by a begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking Earth curve mathematics that places the geometric physical obstruction of the boat at 1.22 times the square root of the observer's measured height perpendicular to surface level for an apparent parallel eye level. So you can calculate and infer a distance to geometric horizon that's linear and horizontal in measurement. So no, when someone presents a picture of a boat and says, oh, the Greeks all knew that it was going over the curve of the Earth. What, based on a begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking Earth curve mathematics that relies on flat Earth measurements being punched into it? I'm going to go with no.
Alert. That's not pancake physics. Bottom line, the only thing flat around here is my paycheck after vacation.
Really? What about the perpendicular height off surface level? What about the sea level? What about the flight level? What about the eye level? What about the horizontal linear distance that's punched into the maths? for you to infer that the boat's being blocked by an Earth curve when you hijack perspective. What about those things that aren't flat? So you're going to relinquish all of the flat Earth prerequisite distance measurements and perpendicular height measurements and parallel eye level measurements and surface level measurements and flight level measurements that you've appealed to so far then? Because the only thing flat around here is blah, 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 blah. No, the measurements that you'll be appealing to are all flat, you dumbass.
And our eyeballs just aren't wired for planetary scale architecture.
Our eyeballs are wired to see in a perspective view. The diffraction limit being where things like the horizon form, based on a limitation of the lens you're viewing it with. Calculable with the Rayleigh criterion, not with an orthographic begging the question proof of nothing perspective hijacking Earth curve mathematics that requires you measure your height off surface level perpendicular to it. So, absolutely without question, in order to believe the distance to where the boat's blocked is caused by an Earth curve obstruction, you'll need to measure Earth flat, you dumbass.
Despite the horizon appearing flat, skeptics claim that no authentic images exist to confirm.
Nobody's claiming no authentic images of the horizon exist. You would claim that its distance to horizon for a sphere edge belief is based on a mathematics that requires you measure surface level, requires you measure linear horizontal distance, and requires perpendicularity for your height off surface level measurement, requires a parallel eye level. All of which are flat Earth prerequisites. That's what you need to believe you're on a ball, you dumbass.
Confirm Earth's roundness.
No. The measurements for your belief in Earth's roundness are all flat.
Ever tried Googling a real photo of the entire round Earth, only to spiral into a rabbit hole questioning reality?
No, what I do is, for the last 10 years, have idiots around me punch in flat Earth measurements into an Earth curve calculator that tells them where they should see. How far I see is governed by my frickin' eyeballs, not by a mathematics that tells me a distance to a geometric horizon is governed by me measuring Earth flat and my height thereof. No, mate. That's not me spiralling into anything. It's you relying on flat Earth measurements to believe you are on a ball when you look at pictures you got when you Googled stuff.
NASA conspiracies and maybe your internet provider's competence?
No, not conspiracies. When I say there's a law of nature called the second law of thermodynamics that governs how gas will disperse into volumes, that's a law of nature. That's why it's called the second law of thermodynamics. Entropy rules how gas will disperse into a volume. Now, if by chance there's a volume of area above our head where men can reside to take little snapshots of a ball Earth behind them, then the gas, that's the clouds on the blue marble pictures, that's gas, would disperse into the area they're taking the picture from. It's a law of nature. Ergo, the conspiracy is the men lying about being in an area that doesn't exist, claim to be a vacuum. You know what gases do when encountering a vacuum? They fill it. If the sky was a vacuum, the gas we breathe would fill the space.
You're not alone. According to internet mythologists and proud flat earthers alike, every image of Earth is either a CGI daydream or a Photoshop part.
Let's have a little look at this picture. What we got here, is this gas around a blue marble, and this blue bit supposed to be the second law of thermodynamics violating sky vacuum at 10 to the minus 17 torr? Because I would say, if this was real, then there'd be no gas to breathe, because it would piss off into this area instantly. It's called entropic dispersion. It's governed by the second law of thermodynamics. I'll say it again. Gas fills space. If you present gas to a vacuum, it instantaneously fills all available volume. It's called dispersion law. It's the second law of thermodynamics. So no, this is a garbage picture. It definitely isn't real because it violates a law of nature.
Party. Because apparently, the space industry's main hobby is tormenting geography teachers.
No, because there's a law of nature called the second law of thermodynamics that dictates how gas would behave. That's to say, if there's an availability of volume for a gas to fill, it will fill it. And what do you know? In your bullshit world, do you think there's an entire empty space around the ball for the gas to vacate into? But what, it just isn't vacating into it? Men can go there to take a little snapshot for you to believe in. Not that this is a photo, it's a freaking cartoon! Obviously a cartoon! But you believe this is real, do you, dumbass? No, it's a violation of a law of nature. But well, it's NASA and the geography teacher's being... No, it's a violation of a law of nature known as entropic dispersion, governed by a description called the second law of thermodynamics. Gas fills space, you idiot. You believe in this crap.
Worldwide. The whispered legend? Real, honest-to-Galileo whole Earth photos simply don't exist.
No, they violate a law of nature called the second law of thermodynamics, you complete idiot. Maybe if you kept up to date with the flat Earth debate, you'd realise why your belief in cartoon images of a ball Earth in a sky vacuum aren't and cannot be real. Number one, the ball Earth concept was derived mathematically from flat Earth measurements, violating the base principle of the mathematics you've appealed to with Kepler and Galileo. These are all derivative of a flat Earth, prerequisite elevation angle measurement in the first instance to Polaris, to develop a system flat in measurement for you to create a ball with. Then you can put said ball into orbital motion. But that is all mathematically derived from flat Earth measurements and in direct violation of the second law of thermodynamics. Does that sound like me going, oh, NASA are just lying? Like Ipsy-Dixit fallacy? No. I'm basing it on a violation of a law of nature. Gas fills space.
Here's the scoop. The shortage of endless crystal clear Earth selfies isn't
Earth selfies of gas not filling space? The men can go up to the sky vacuum to click, click, take a picture of a ball with gas around it, not dispersing, eh? Idiot. No, they're all liars and you have been deceived by them. They're violating the second law of thermodynamics by being in an area that doesn't exist, making them automatically liars.
a grand conspiracy.
Yeah, by NASA, to lie about an area of volume above our head where gas is not filling. Called outer space. That is the grand conspiracy. Why? Well, because it violates a law of nature, that's why, making them unequivocal liars. If they can vacate this area, the yummy gas that we're all breathing, then so can the gas!
It's a logistical nightmare. The easiest way to snap this cosmic group shot is to get ridiculously far away, which, surprise, surprise, only happened during a handful of Apollo missions.
No, that never happened, ever. You can't travel through the high-pressure gas we're all enjoying breathing into an area that the gas won't follow you. If you can go into an area above our head, 10 to the minus 17 torr, that's a sky vacuum. This area is an entire empty void of space that the gas on this cartoon that you believe in would be filling. We'd all be dead. If the little men can come off and go into this area, so can all the gas, you dimwit.
That iconic blue marble photo?
Is the conspiracy, is the lie, is bullshit you swallowed whole. Num 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 num. Why? Because Big Daddy government told you it was true, based on a 500-year-old mathematics derived from flat Earth measurements. That's why. Because your Roman Catholic education told you it was true, not because you've been out to a second law of thermodynamics violating sky vacuum, because little men in spacesuits did. Why do they need the spacesuits exactly? Is it so their gas doesn't fill the space? Oh, well, what about the Earth below? Oh, that gas is fine. The men need the spacesuits so they can still breathe the yummy gas we're all enjoying on the surface level that we measured to create orbital motion. That would be flat measurements. But of course, when they go up to an imaginary area akin to Narnia, they need to protect their gas in a suit while they look back and take pictures of an Earth with gas not filling the same exact space that their suits are protecting their own personal gas from. Idiot. They're laughing at you. and how stupid you are. Yeah, we need the spacesuits or our gas would fill the space. The gas on that blue marble, that's fine. Yeah, no worries. What's that, gravity? Not a force, but a bent pseudo-Riemannian space geometry invented by a man named Einstein that's not a force will keep the gas that expands in all directions in line with entropic dispersion laws from dispersing in line with that entropic dispersion law. No, that's a violation of an entropic dispersion law, known as the second law of thermodynamics. The same law that they're abiding by with the spacesuits, you dumbass retard. Fooled by conspirators. That's what you are.
Real humans, real cameras.
Why haven't they got a spacesuit on in your cartoon? Are they just breathing the non-gas? No, when they piss in your face and tell you that these men are out in a sky vacuum, they got little suits on, haven't they? Alleging to be in Narnia, in outer space. Why do they have little suits on, the little foil suits? Oh, so that the gas doesn't disperse into the sky vacuum. But on your picture, you've got a nice little line around. Does this represent where all the gas is contained? No, you see, the problem is the men came off the planet, cartoon that it is, into this area with their little camera to take a picture of it. Now, they'd all be suffocating, and so would the people on the ground, you dumbass.
Taken from 29,000.
If you notice, all of his self-portraits in this illustration, they all have his mouth open, ready for something to be inserted.
Yeah, like a cock.
I don't know if you notice, quite strange.
Kilometers out. Nowadays, we get breathtaking Earth imagery from satellites like...
No. Any alleged satellite in a sky vacuum has the same problem. That's to say, if the satellite can leave the ground and go into an area 10 to the minus 17 tall, that's a vacuum, so can all the gas. So no, you haven't got any images from satellites taking pictures of a ball Earth in a sky vacuum. Because we'd have no gas to breathe.
DSCO VR, which cleverly stitched together data from multiple sensors. Stitch? Because satellites don't exactly come equipped with GoPros on selfie sticks. So next time someone insists it's all fake, ask
them if it violates a law of nature known as the second law of thermodynamics. Ask if gas would fill the area that the pictures have come from. It's a natural law. That means it occurs always and without exception. Oh, but this is an exception to a law of nature that has no exceptions. Really? No, I'm just going to go with they're lying to you. Can you validate it by going up to Narnia? A second law of thermodynamics violating 10 to the minus 17 tall sky vacuum. No, you can't. But the little men in their spacesuits, why do they need them again? Oh yeah, so their gas doesn't fill the space. Like the gas on Earth isn't doing. Idiot.
if their GPS owes them an apology.
Right, GPS is Cartesian. It's a flat grid. Obviously, this retard didn't do any research into what GPS actually is. It uses a flat Cartesian grid. You moron. It's a flat Earth system.
For all those scenic detours around the...
Of course, because it's got G in the abbreviation. What, global positioning system? It's Cartesian, it's flat. You dumbass. But you couldn't see past the abbreviation. Oh, it's got the word global in it. So obviously it's global. Other than it's flat. It's Cartesian, you dumbass.
Around Earth.
No, flat. Cartesian. It's a grid. Two-dimensional.
Even with the absence of real pictures, some...
You don't have any real pictures from a sky vacuum. It's like saying you've got real pictures from Narnia. If the place doesn't exist, you're not going to have real pictures taken from it.
Argue that gravity itself is just a theoretical concept with...
No, it's a bent pseudo-Riemannian geometry invented by a man named Einstein. Now, obviously, this man doesn't understand what bent pseudo-geometry is, because he's saying, oh, some people say it's just a concept. It's maths. It was invented by Einstein. It's got a conceptual, fourth-dimensional pseudo-geometry, my friend. The clue's in the title if you knew what it was. Pseudo-Riemannian fourth space. That's what it is. That's not anything beyond mathematical. That's conceptual. You don't have a fourth dimension, you dumbass. Certainly isn't a force. It certainly doesn't hold gas in defiance of a natural law.
Without solid proof. Next time you drop your phone, try blaming it on just a theory.
No, Next time you are a fucking retard looking up at clouds, drop your phone and ignore them. That's just a cloud up in the air. Because everything goes down, does it, dumbass? No, you're 110 years out of date, you retard. Not all things go down. Do you get puddles of farts? Idiot! Is that your fart going down, go boom boom into a puddle? Oh no, it goes in all directions, letting everyone in your home know how stinky and dirty you are. When the gas disperses in all directions. Is that the same as me dropping a phone? No, not all things go down. There's clouds! You stupid buffoon!
See if it bounces back. Spoiler alert, your screen still shatters, and your...
Spoiler alert, your farts don't form puddles. Spoiler alert, we've got clouds. Spoiler alert, there's gases everywhere, moving in all directions, coming out of the frigging ground and going up. Is that gas go down, go boom boom like you dropping a phone, idiot? Or are you just too stupid to understand basic laws of gas behaviour? Gas doesn't go down. Not all things tend to the surface, you moron.
Your dignity takes a nosedive.
Never mind the clues.
Right along
Never mind the
with it.
clues.
There's a myth floating around that theory is science speak for educated wild guess.
No, theory comes after experiment. Experiment comes after hypothesis. Hypothesis comes after observing natural phenomena. It's called the scientific method. You don't know what a theory is in scientific vernacular, so I'll educate your dumb cartoon-using ass right now on what science and the scientific method to result in theory actually means. Step 1. Observe a natural phenomena. I don't know, like gas dispersion. Dispersing in all directions. That's a phenomena. You can say, I wonder what caused that observed phenomena, otherwise known as a dependent variable. The phenomena you observe forms half of the hypothesis, the dependent variable. The other half of your scientific prediction, that's hypothesis, is what you think, speculatively, will cause the phenomena to occur. That's called an independent variable. Once you've got both, independent and dependent variable, you've got a hypothesis, otherwise known as a scientific prediction. It speculatively suggests the cause of an effect. If A, that's your independent variable, then B, your dependent variable, otherwise known as naturally occurring phenomena. Alongside the hypothesis, called the alternative, you have a zero difference result, called a null. It's the antithesis of your original prediction. If A, not B. That's to say you vary your presumed cause and the naturally occurring phenomena does not occur. One mirrors the other and forms a complete hypothesis, a scientific prediction. Step 3. Actualize your prediction. That is to say you vary and manipulate that which you assume will cause the effect to see if it causes the effect or not. If it doesn't, tick, you prove the null. A didn't cause B. If it does, tick, you validate that's proved the alternative hypothesis. You established the cause of the effect. Then, step 4, theory. That's the scientific method. A dumb-ass cartoon-using moron didn't understand. No, it's not just a little bit of guesswork. It's the result of scientific validity being offered after establishing a cause and effect relationship based on a naturally occurring phenomena. Dumbass.
Like blaming Bigfoot for missing socks.
No, like formulating a cause and effect relationship in a scientific prediction, you retard, who doesn't know what science or theory is. Being educated by me, my name is Nathan Oakley. I've not got a retard screen name to hide behind. I'm not a cartoon. I'm the one spitting feathers and teaching you, a retard, what science and theory actually is, based on naturally occurring phenomena and cause and effect reasoning in a hypothesis. to be validated in an experiment to form a theory. That's Nathan Oakley, the one smarter than you, educating you on what science and theory actually is. You dumbass, screen name using retard, offering cartoons and idiocy, and violations of natural law.
Not quite. In science, a theory is the VIP of explanations.
No, a theory comes after experimental validity is offered based on a prediction. That's a hypothesis that predicted the cause of a naturally occurring phenomenon. My concise summary is what science is. What you offered was idiocy.
Backed by mountains of evidence.
No, backed by experiment. Retard much? Yeah, you're a fucking retard. You haven't got a clue what science is. It's not backed by mountains of evidence. It's backed by a single validated experiment. That's what you form theory with. Validated, cause and effect, suppositional, experimentally valid. That's what forms theory.
Countless experiments and 0 maybe Bigfoot did it moments.
Right, are you going to go through what an experiment is? So you understand that theory follows experiments then? Are you going to detail what it is? I highly doubt it.
Take gravity.
No, gravity's not experimentally validated in any way. What a retard. You've given us 110-year out-of-date. Things all fall to the ground. Retard! Crick your neck and look at the fucking clouds. Maybe sniff your own farts next time and realise they're not falling down, go boom boom. When you think that gravity is a force pulling all things down, not all things tend to the ground. That's 110-year out-of-date Newtonian rhetoric violated by gas behaviour. Moron. Gravity, in current heliocentric nonsense, is bending space-time, a pseudo-geometry invented by Einstein. Not, I drop my phone, it goes down. Because your farts violate that, you stupid clown.
Newton noticed apples don't
And also,
boomerang.
the Newtonian mechanics are all with respect to a horizontal plane of reference.
Yeah, you'll need a flat earth for horizontal planes of reference to describe perpendicularity in a downward vector. Absolutely correct.
Back to the sky, and Einstein turned that apple into a cosmic space-time fruit salad.
Sorry, he turned it into a fruit salad, or was it a pseudo-Riemannian space-time bending? There is no fourth dimension. It's conceptual. It's mathematical. It was invented by a man named Einstein. You can't bend time. The arrow of time is more accurately described by entropic dispersion laws. Entropy is the arrow of time. It's not for bending. And no amount of pseudo-geometry that Einstein comes up with will stop my farts filling the space, will stop clouds not going down. You idiot.
Gravity isn't a polite suggestion.
Really? You're showing a coffee cup falling towards the ground? So just complete ignorance of how gas behaves then? Yeah, obviously you believe in a sky vacuum where little men take pictures of Earth with gas around it not filling the space, in spite of the fact that, without exception, all gases come out of the ground and go up. There are no exceptions. There's no sky factories producing gas. It all comes from the ground. It all originates down and goes up. Violating your gas go down, go boom boom with your dimensional coffee cup? Idiot!
It's why your coffee mug refuses to defy physics every month.
Really? What about the fucking steam coming out of it? Does that go down, go boom boom? Does the steam come out and go towards the ground, you abject clown? Because I can take your coffee cup and ram it up your ass with the steam coming out of it.
Monday morning. So next time someone waves off something as just a theory.
No, not just a theory, because just a theory would be a colloquial theory, more accurately described as a just so story. Like a story of all things going to the ground when you look at a coffee cup that you've dropped, ignoring the steam coming off the ground once it's dropped. Is that going down? Got puddles of steam out of your clown shoes? No, you're just a retard.
Remind them that gravity, germs, and evolution are all theories too.
No, they're not. Theories are formed from scientific validity. You think you got scientific validity from dropping a coffee cup? The steam goes up! That violates the just so story that you've got, that would definitely not be backed by scientific empiricism, that definitely didn't have a cause and effect relationship based on a natural phenomena, because your natural phenomena is all things go down! Have you never seen the steam coming off your coffee cup? Clown shoes? Obviously not very observant.
And unless you're a cat daydreaming about zero-G acrobatics, you're
Or somebody that can crick their head and look at clouds! You dumbass!
stuck with them. Besides, calling gravity just a theory.
No, theory comes after experiment. Experiment comes after hypothesis. Hypothesis comes after observing natural phenomena. Me dropping something is synthetic. I caused that to happen. Now, if I fart, it will fill space and go away from the ground. That's what it'll do. Dissipate into the area of volume available to it. Through all the gaps in all the other gases that are held here in containment at high pressure. Now, if little men can fly through that gas, we'd have no gas to breathe because the gas would follow them. We'd have never developed high pressure in the first place. But what's that? It all goes down? No. This is not theory. Theory isn't what you think it is. You're using the word in a colloquial sense, making you an idiot who doesn't know what science is.
Won't get you out of parking tickets, but it might earn some weird look.
Yeah, that's called a non sequitur fallacy. Bent pseudo-Riemannian geometry's got nothing to do with parking tickets. Dropping apples and phones is synthetic and is not going to form a validated theory based on experiment, based on hypothesis, based on a natural phenomena of dropping apples and phones. You're a clown. There's nothing more to it. You're a clown. You don't know what a cloud is. You don't know how farts behave. You've never seen steam come off a coffee cup. Idiot. Hiding behind cartoons.
Looks.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name
all
on
those
it,
cartoons
just by thinking about it.
Meet
Base 44.
Utilizing
Probably from
perspective and
cats.
scaling.
Yeah, all of his cartoons are flat plane in base because that's how Earth is designed, measured, and utilised in all aspects.
If gravity were merely a theory,
It's not merely a theory. You form theory based on scientific validity. It's about as high a standard as you can achieve. You're using the word colloquially because you're a moron.
it raises questions about the mechanics of flight.
Flight, like flight level, like measured altitudes off sea level with altimeters, like pitch up with respect to horizontal when in straight and level flight, like the horizontal distance measurement used in descent when they calculate the descent path with trig. Those sorts of things that are associated with flights. No, you will and do and can only use a flat Earth for flight. All of the measurements are flat. There are no exceptions, and we can prove it with the measurements from black box data, or the trig used with the horizontal distance measurements, or the flight levels called out by flight controllers, all of which require Earth be flat. That's how it's being measured. For your flights, you dimwit.
Such as why airplanes wouldn't need to constantly adjust their noses.
They don't, you fucking retard. Go and look at the black box data. They're pitch up with respect to horizontal for the duration of straight and level flight, as called out by the flight controller. If they deviate from straight and level flight, the controllers on the ground get pretty pissy with them. You understand? There's normally something going wrong if they're not adhering to parallel flight level at a set altitude measured off sea level. You idiot! They're not pitching down. Were you listening to Wolfie lie to you? Yeah, that's right, Wolfie 6020, a pilot who lied through his back teeth and then spent 8 years trying to cover up his deceit, saying that planes nose down around a No, they don't. Got black box data to prove it. The measurements prove that the nose of the plane is pitch up 2 degrees with respect to horizontal for the duration of the flight. That's how it's measured in straight and level flight. Measured off surface level. Measured with altimeters with respect to sea level. Called out by ground controllers. And like I say, they get pretty snippy if you deviate from level flight. Parallel with the flat ground. So what are you babbling about? Is this your just a colloquial theory that they nose down around a planet? They don't! Go and look at the measurements, you stupid retard. We have got black box data to prove it. Go and look at a descent and how it's calculated with trig using horizontal linear flat earth only distance measurement. And no earth is measured flat.
Ever wonder if pilots are sneakily nudging their airplane's nose down every few minutes to avoid?
No, they're not. We can show with black box data measured with respect to the surface level, with respect to the horizontal, for the flight level called out by ground control. You dumbass. Why is it that on this diagram we haven't got a curve in this instrument? Is it because we're dealing with a fucking retard who doesn't understand how the principles of flight work? Yeah, that's basically it. We're dealing with a fucking retard. That's why.
Doesn't he realize that we have pitch data and it's all measured? What is he saying? Do you secretly wonder if they're nosing down?
Because
It's
secretly
measured
they
already.
fantasize about it. Secretly, people like Wolfie6020 pretend that they're not pitch up with respect to horizontal, measured with their instrumentation, to remain in level flight. Someone like Wolfie6020, a bald-believing pilot, will lie and say that they are, in defiance of the measurements. Won't you, Wolfie, you lying shitbag? That's why you spent 8 years defending your deceit. Because that's what it was. A lie. No, they don't pitch down. They pitch up with respect to horizontal.
Avoid blasting off into deep space. Buckle up. Gravity misconceptions ahead. And
No, there are no misconceptions when it comes to bent pseudo-Riemannian geometry. The pseudo-geometry isn't accounted for in gyroscopic action. You don't need any bent space-time when it comes to straight and level flight. What you need is to measure your height off the sea level. What you need is parallel eye level. What you need is the horizon as a last resort in case your instruments fail, to give you straight and level flight so you can pitch up with respect to the horizontal. Pitch up with respect to the horizon. That's what they do!
and it's going to be a bumpy ride. Here's a stubborn myth that won't quit. Since Earth is round, pilots must constantly dip the plane's nose downward.
No, they don't. They pitch up with respect to a measured horizontal plane of reference when they're flying in straight and level flight, measured off sea level, measured off surface level, with a parallel horizontal plane used with gyroscopic instrumentation, or as a last resort, the horizon. These are all flat Earth axioms, you dumbwit.
To follow the curve.
No, they don't.
Otherwise, logic warns, every flight would float off like a rogue balloon headed for...
No, that's your dumbass assertion that what flights would go into the sky vacuum if they weren't pitch up with respect to horizontal. Number one, they are pitch up with respect to horizontal. Number two, they're remaining in straight and level flight, called out from ground control. Number three, the altimeter's measuring their altitude with respect to the surface level, and they're parallel with it. Oh, what, you don't believe me? Gravity's correcting? Really? So when you are in a descent that's calculated with a horizontal planar distance measurement, that's gravity? No, it's not. It's a horizontal distance measurement that stops people dying when they come into land. They're measuring Earth flat, you dimwit.
Mars. But physics, ever the party pooper, says nope. Gravity keeps planes glued to the Earth's surface like
a force? Let's quote a few professors. Professor Brian Cox. Gravity is not a force to glue things to anything. It's a bent space-time geometry, as of 110 years ago. You dimwit. Obviously weren't educated in this beyond a high school level, or you'd know gravity's not going to be gluing anything to anything. It's not a force. End quote. George Musa, editor of Scientific American. So no, it's not going to glue anything to anything, you dimwit. It's a bent space-time geometry, conceptual in nature. You can't bend time. We don't have a fourth dimension. Idiot. High school level science. From an idiot who believes he's on a ball in defiance of every measurement made by aircraft. What a retard.
Flies on flypaper. No constant nosedives required.
Right, so when you think you're on a ball, you don't think you need to nose down around the ball like Wolfie lied about 8 years ago? Well, why did Wolfie lie about it then? Why did he show a little toy plane nosing down around a ball then? It's because you'd want to believe that you are actually comporting with your sphere that you don't. But what we don't need to nose down around a ball. No, you do, we just don't. We don't nose down around a ball because we'd be nosing into the ground and crashing into it when they're calling out a flight level and telling the plane to remain parallel with the ground at a specific flight level, which we measure in black box data, which we measure with horizontal distances for descent. Earth is measured flat by all aircraft. You want proof? Yeah, we got it in the form of black box measurement data. Whoever's off mute in G+, you're ruining my show.
In truth, when planes fly straight,
then they prove that Earth is flat by way of measurements of straight and level flight. If they're flying straight, they're not flying around a fucking ball!
actually tracing Earth's curve. A smooth, gravity-led...
Right, that's a contradiction in terms. You can't fly straight and trace a curve. That's the kind of speak from a fucking retard. A contradiction in terms. A spastic speak, you could say. No, straight and level is straight and level. Curving is a deviation from the level. To describe how curving you are, you'll describe it as a deviation from straight. Idiot. Being straight isn't curving. That's the kind of spastic nonsense that you'd have to come out with to believe that something that defies a ball is actually offering you a ball proof. Well, because it's straight, it's curving. You're a retard. You're a dumbass. Why don't you go and watch Wolfie 6020 lie to you with his little toy plane that shows it curving around a ball, only to 8 years later fundamentally defy his own lie when talking to Pastor Will Duffy, your religious priest in heliocentrism, your self-appointed leader from the Church of Heliocentrism, Pastor Will Duffy, and Wolfie 6020, defying his own lies with his toy aeroplanes that very specifically curve around balls, until they don't, because we've got measurements to show that they don't. Then straight is a deviation from straight. Retard. No. That's you and your belief getting the better of you.
Led hug, managed by gravity and...
Apparently, gravity's now manager. Karen needs to speak to gravity.
Talking about Will Duffy, the same guy that says it's okay to deceive and lie. Okay, I just want to make sure we got the right guy.
Yeah, we'll see him in 3 to 5.
Savvy autopilots, not some in-flight nose-dipping workout.
Not some nose-dipping workout. So when Wolfie showed it dipping its nose then, he was just a fucking liar. Yeah, Wolfie 6020 is a fucking liar. I hope he burns in hell. He's talking to a pastor, so I can only assume he's a God-fearing Christian. And also a lying shitbag with his little model that curved around a ball, but what simultaneously is in straight and level flight. No, those two things are incongruent with one another. When you describe them together, it's a contradiction in terms. To describe how curving it isn't according to you, you'd be describing a deviation from the straight and level. And if you're on a ball, it would absolutely curve around it, like the toy model that Wolfie lied about. It doesn't. We can show with measurements. It's parallel with surface level. It's in flight level. It's maintaining straight and level flight at a flight level called out by ground control, measured off the sea level with altimeters, nose up with respect to horizontal, in all instances, in every measurement. Earth is measured flat.
Honestly, if pilots had to dip the nose every mile,
then Wolfie would be truthful when he showed it doing exactly that with a toy aeroplane. He isn't truthful. He's a lying shitbag who deserves to burn in hell. A pilot who fundamentally defied the axiomatic principles of flight so he could believe he was on a ball for 8 years, maintaining a lie that was defied by black box measurements. But now you say, oh, no, flight level is bent level. Retard.
Pause. Nathan, if he was pitching down, would the plane ever be able to maintain flight?
No, it wouldn't be in straight and level flight. Straight and level means exactly that. If it's descending, it's deviating away from level. And you calculate a descent with horizontal distance measurements.
They'd retire as world-class bobbleheads. So next time you're cruising at 30,000 feet, relax.
Sorry, what? 30,000 feet? That's a perpendicular height off sea level. That's what 30,000 feet is. You're talking about vertical measured height off surface level. Idiot, you're appealing to flat earth measurements in feet perpendicular to a plane to say that Earth's curving. Retard.
Yeah, 30,000 feet and add that with about 100 miles. Seems flat to me.
Gravity's got this. Pilots can save.
Gravity's got this, bro. No, gravity's a bent pseudo-geometry invented by a man named Einstein. It created a fourth dimension, mathematically. It's not a force, it's not gluing anything, and it hasn't got you, bro. It's not got this, yeah? You're just an idiot with a high school understanding of Newtonian gravity that was superseded 110 years ago. Now, Big Daddy government didn't see necessary to teach you the ins and outs of pseudo-geometry invented by Einstein. They just told you it was a force gluing stuff, right? Retard. Big Daddy government told you it was a force, did they? Oh, bless. Didn't progress beyond high school understanding of gravity? Bless. Now, gravity hasn't got you, bro. You're just a retard.
Save their energy for sipping coffee, not inventing aviation aerobics. While airplane adjustments are debated, others focus on how water behaves, asserting that it always finds its level.
It does. They use it for building shit. What kind of a retard says, oh, some people suggest that water finds and maintains its level? It does!
Challenging the idea of a curved surface.
No, just describing how water frickin' behaves. Water finds and maintains a level. That's what it does. Very useful when you come to building things.
Water supposedly has a sixth sense for flatness.
No, it finds and maintains its level. That's just an axiomatic fact. Used in building things.
Just ask any flat earther.
No, just go out and buy a fucking spirit level, you abject clown.
According to the old chestnut, water always finds its level.
It does!
Wielded like Excalibur by those battling the idea of a round planet.
That's a begging the question fallacy, defying an axiomatic principle of water level, flight level, surface level, sea level, eye level. All of these things are axiomatically tied to measurements of Earth, building on it, with water levels, to maintain and establish a level, so that you can build a building and it not fall over? You think it's me holding up Excalibur, do you, retard? No, I've never built anything. I mean, I've drawn up blueprints to build a property. I didn't physically put the bricks and mortar down. But they definitely used levels when excavating the side of a frickin' hill to make sure the building was upright. They used the principle of water to achieve that. You think that's me with Excalibur? No. Just a tool used in building things.
But here's the catch. This phrase doesn't mean water stuff.
Sorry, Nathan, I'm only just come in, but it just makes you laugh. I mean, they're actually acting as if, like, by saying, like you've just said, laughing at people who say water finds level. Like, if you said water curves around things, that's normal. I can't get my head around these idiots.
Go and speak to a builder. Say, you think your spirit level is useful? Idiot, do you not know that water finds and maintains curve? What crackhead?
Stubbornly resists curves.
Yeah, it finds and maintains level. Without that principle, how do you think you level bricks I mean, seriously, are you going to put this on my doorstep like I'm a bleeding builder? But I've got a bent spirit level. You're an idiot.
Oh, he's a total
It's just
idiot.
describing
Say again, Neil.
He's a total idiot because you're right. We use it for building, leveling. I mean, what's wrong with this guy?
how water, ever the obedient molecule, adapts to its container.
No, sorry, so you think that water adapts to the container, what it just finds and maintains the curve of the container, does it? No, it doesn't. It will find and maintain level. That's one of the principles used when building things. This guy's a complete crackhead.
Thank gravity for that.
Sorry, you think that you can anthropomorphise gravity now? Can you shake its hand? Now, gravity's not a force, end quote, George Musa. There isn't really a force of gravity at all, end quote, Professor Brian Cox. It's a bent pseudo-geometry invented by an Einsteinian concept, superseding the Newtonian garbage you think's got you, bro, 110 years ago. What a crackhead.
Gravity plays no favorites. It pulls everything.
Gravity is not a force. End quote, George Musa. There isn't really a force of gravity at all. You think it's pulling? No, you're a fucking retard with a high school education in Newtonian, now superseded by Einsteinian gravity. That's what you are, a fuckwit. A dimwit.
It's not pulling
From
them
mountain-
clouds down, is it, in that picture?
Yeah,
Lakes
why
to
isn't it pulling the
sprawling
clouds?
oceans.
Good point. In your cartoon, why aren't the clouds coming down, go boom, boom, go splash, splash?
Straight toward Earth's core.
Really? Like the clouds? Like your farts? Like the steam coming off the coffee cup?
On a globe, this means level literally bows to the planet's curve.
You're a fucking retard. You're defying an axiomatic principle by showing level as curving. Like, literally, you couldn't make this shit up. You couldn't be any more dim-witted. No, what you've got on screen is not level. Level, by definition, is having no part higher or lower than any other. That's what level means. You think this is level? You're a crackhead. Go and have yourself committed.
This is the pain they're in. Look, this is the pain that they're in. This is what they have to do. Show us a curve and put level over the top of it to keep the globe alive in their illusion.
Find yourself the nearest nut house and commit yourself to it. Level is having no part higher or lower than another. Describing what you've got on screen, that's curve, requires you have a level to describe the deviation from that level. Without level, you can't describe what you've got on screen. That's curve. You idiot! Were you dropped on your head?
Why do lakes and seas look flat to the naked eye?
That'll be because water finds and maintains a fucking level. That's why.
Because Earth's curvature is sneakier than a
Why do things look flat? Because they're curved. Go and have yourself
because the
committed.
curve is sneaky.
magician's sleight of hand,
So-
spread over
Sneaky. Oh.
thousands of kilometers. It appears flat at small scale.
So what you're saying is it looks flat because it's actually curving. Go and have yourself committed. Like, you are literally insane. If this is the crap that you've got to tell yourself to believe you're on a ball, number one, it means you haven't looked into the origin measurements of a ball for you to believe in. Because what you're doing is defying axiomatic principles, in this case of water, finding and maintaining its level. A principle that's been used in building things for quite some time. You've got to defy the axiomatic definition of level by showing curve and writing level with bendy arrows pointing at it. I mean, literally, you need to go and have yourself committed.
Satellites and physics have long proved water's surface curves across vast distances.
Where was that proof provided? Is this going to be Ipsy-Dixit? Let's see if this is a baseless assertion fallacy.
If water really despises
Yep. Absolutely no evidence to provide whatsoever. Just an Ipsy-Dixit fallacy. It is because I say so, bro. Gravity's got you. Yeah? No, you can't just defy an axiomatic principle of what water does when used for building things. Well, no, I mean, I know it's used practically for building things and stuff because of how flat it finds itself maintaining. But that's because it's curved. No, that's because you're a retard.
Curves, roller coasters would be bone dry and...
Sorry, would it be that the roller coasters employing the principle that the water will find and maintain its level, therefore come from the top and go to the bottom, to find level? Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? As opposed to level being curved? Because surely it would just stick to the frickin' roundabout.
Puddles would need passports. So let's dive beneath the surface and see why catchy slogans just can't hold the truth.
No, but building things are pretty much a definitive demonstration of how level water is. If it weren't, the buildings would all be falling down.
Building on observations about water, many expect the Earth...
Yeah, building on observations of how water finds and maintains its level to make the buildings.
Earth's curve to be visible from high points, like...
How high? Like measured off surface level with an altitude? Yeah, the height that you're going to measure to suggest where curve's going to be is going to be an inference of 1.22 times the square root of the observer's measured height off surface level. To make the following assertion, this man will measure Earth flat for a height off surface level.
Like Mount Everest. Strap in and snag your oxygen mask. Everest isn't quite tall enough to give you a sneak peek of Earth's curves.
Really? So when you rely on Earth being curved to the tune of 1.22 times the square root of the observer's measured height off flat surface level, Everest won't give you that? I'm pretty sure you're a dumbass and you don't understand how your own Earth curve mathematics works when measuring Earth flat for a perpendicular height off surface level to give you the height of Everest. What's that? Thin air? What, like coming out of the ground and getting to the top of Everest so people can ascend all the way up it and still breathe the gas that was produced at ground level from the vegetation? Yeah, that would be gas going away from the ground. Doesn't it all go down, go boom, boom, go splash, splash like you dropping a phone? Doesn't gas do that? You're telling me it gets to the top of Everest? Why doesn't it continue into the area of volume in line with entropic law, leaving us all suffocating with no gas? As the men take pictures from the sky vacuum, you're an idiot. You haven't really thought any of this through, have you?
Also, Nathan, didn't he tell us earlier that we can see Earth curve due to the hulls of ship disappearing bottom up first?
Yeah. Seems like you're in contradiction with your own rhetoric. Only 5 minutes ago you were saying that we could see the Earth curve blocking boats. Now we go up Everest and can't see it. Fuckwit! Go and have yourself committed.
Yeah, but I mean, even if you go off their rhetoric and Google some of the globe evidence, apparently, you don't have to climb Mount Everest. You can just climb a tree, to tell you.
Yeah, you can climb a tree and see a boat blocked by Earth curve, but simultaneously you can't see it from the top of Everest that's measured its height off flat Earth surface level. What a wanker.
Dream that, after dodging frostbite and inhaling more protein bars than a humanly reasonable amount, they'll be rewarded with a god-tier...
What are these? Are these clouds? Why aren't they going down, go boom boom, go splash splash? Surely, like your phone, they all go down to the ground, right? Maybe you haven't thought this through quite well enough.
Panoramic of Earth's arc. The myth sticks around because at 29,000 feet...
That's a flat Earth measurement off the surface level. 29,000 feet is perpendicular to a plane of reference. You retard. Who doesn't understand how you're measuring Earth flat to make this claim? Idiot. Your feet measurement's off surface level. Your height of Everest is measured with respect to sea level. You're a buffoon.
It feels like the universe slipped you a VIP pass to the cosmos. But reality? It's about as flattering as a bathroom selfie. Even from Everest's frosty summit, the horizon stretches just around 230 miles. Your grand reveal ends up about as thrilling as scrolling a panoramic on your ancient phone.
So not 1.22 times the square root of the observer's measured height off surface level then, as per your begging the question proof of nothing perspective hijacking Earth curve maths that you appealed to in this very video to say it would block boats. So on the ground you can see it blocking boats, but you go up Everest and you can't see it. You're a fucking retard. That's the only conclusion I can draw from this. Meanwhile, both assertions required you measured your height off surface level, perpendicular to a plane of reference. Both would require you describe horizontal linear distance to the horizon. That's a flat Earth prerequisite in both instances. Both would require you have a parallel eye level with the surface level to make the maths work. All three are flat Earth prerequisites. You require to believe that you both can simultaneously see Earth curve blocking boats and cannot see it from the top of Everest. You're a fucking retard. There's no other words to describe the videographer. Stupid.
I mean, he's looking for a curve. He's looking for this curve. But then if he goes back to his Earth curve calculator, it clearly shows you that it's a flat Earth measurement from surface level parallel to, line of sight eye level.
Nobody wants to deal with the measurements one deck.
Yeah, they want to use
getting his curve
from flat Earth measurements. That's what Neil just said. No one wants to pay attention to the measurements. Yeah, they want to say, oh, well, this height of a mountain off flat surface level, perpendicular to it, is perfectly acceptable to assert that we can't see the Earth curve that formerly blocked boats when also simultaneously using a flat Earth perpendicular height off surface level. And the distance, the horizontal linear distance measurement in miles or kilometres, that flat Earth prerequisite distance, won't give you Earth and will give you a curve to block boats. These people are literally demented.
Yeah, in chat, I keep bringing up the measurements. Hold on one second, one deck. And all they keep doing is I bring up measurements, says, yes, classic flat Earth. Everyone in history is part of some huge conspiracy over hundreds of professionals, countries, and disciplines maintained over hundreds of years without one whistleblower ever. And I said, no, I'm talking about measurements. So why are we not dealing with the measurements?
Because they can't.
Why are you
they
trying
need
to
them.
lump us in with conspiracy?
They can't. They need the flat Earth measurements. So they can't address them. They can't decry them. What are you going to do? Say, no, actually, I'm not measuring the height of the mountain perpendicular to a plane of reference. It's not up the mountain. It's out, like off a ball. No, it's not. It's perpendicular to a plane of reference. That's what height is. Elevation is measured with respect to surface level. Heights for the plane are measured with respect to sea level, to altitude. You need a flat Earth for these things. Distance is horizontal, like the little scale on your map. Now, to decry these flat Earth only measurements would be decrying the very base principle that they built their bald faith on. So they can't deny the flat Earth measurements. They have to say, oh, well, it's some conspiracy. No, you're all measuring Earth flat. You've just got a demented sphere belief. But with that, I'm going to say, if you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Premiering Streams, then stay tuned as there will be an after show to follow. If you are watching this live, please let both videographers that have their links published in the live stream chat know at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me with a polite comment that doesn't immediately get eradicated by the YouTube algorithmic bots or the videographers themselves. A massive thank you to today's G Plus and Discord panels for making today's live show possible. And of course, a massive thank you to all of you for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, joining as a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member, hit me up on PayPal and Patreon and all that good stuff. I've been Nathan Oakley and I will see you all in the next video.